Hello and welcome back to the Bogey Boys YouTube channel. We're here with Dan Morris from TaylorMade and we're here to review the brand new STEALTH DHY and UDI golf clubs. This is the driving hybrid and that is the ultimate driving iron.
Yeah, I mean, obviously building on the success of when we had the Sim UDI product, that was, you know, really successful product for us, and we're kind of taking that and bringing that into the stealth category, if you like, in terms of getting that matching up with the carbon wood in terms of with the logo in.
Yeah.
But not only that, you know, there's some added technology in there, moving on from the Sim UDI into the stealth product. So where we've launched P790 in recent years, as we've moved through generations of P790, we've changed the inner workings of that iron, and we've gone from a technology called speed foam into now we've got speed foam air, which is a lot lighter material versus the original product.
Yeah.
And that's what we've now added into our STEALTH UDI and DHY. So you know, in a nutshell, you know, it's still taking the fabric of what that Sim UDI was, but we're just building on that. You know, with the speed foam air, it's lighter, we're going to see more ball speed, and with that weight saving, we can move that weight where we want around the club.
Yeah.
So essentially give you a more forgiving product. So it's quicker, more forgiving, and you know, that's the, you know, the nuts and bolts, yeah, the nuts and bolts of the technology. But you know, in terms of that category and what that is,
yeah,
you know, we had a product launched in 2018 called Gapper, and the story with that is that Gapper is finding that gap in your bag, and we had a multiple of products in there. There was kind of a Gapper high, mid, and low. And again, as we've moved into the Sim and now the STEALTH UDI DHYs, it's still taking that fabric of what it's trying to do and trying to get that gap in that golf bag. And that's why we have two different models. You know, in the STEALTH UDI, we've got a 2 and a 3, which the CGO location is a different position. So we're going to see that kind of lower ball flight in that,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
you know, dial in that kind of low stinger, especially, you know, on Open Championship week as well. Where the DHY, you know, it's that crossover of that, you know, DHY standing for a driving hybrid, so you'll get a slightly higher launch than whereas the UDI. But we do that in a multiple of lofts, so we do that 2, 3, 4, 5, multiple of flexes, so there's always going to be a product for every golfer out there as well, and that is, you know, dialing in a flight, dialing in a number, dialing in a specific shot. You know, you obviously play at a links course, so I'm sure there's certain shots where this will be perfect for you off the tee. So you know, there's certainly a loft and an iron in this range for every golfer.
Yeah, and you talked there about obviously the Open week. Have the guys got these in the bag this week, have they?
Yeah, so I was actually over at the JP McManus Pro-Am about 10 days ago now, and the tour team were there and they were building these irons for the players. So when we were on the truck, they were built for Tommy Fleetwood, Tiger, Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, Dustin Johnson. So they had different variations. So Morikawa was testing a UDI and a DHY. Okay. There was a couple of different options for Tiger when they were doing some testing with maybe slightly different shafts. One with a steel shaft in an X1, and there was a slightly different variation on that as well. So the guys on tour were doing a lot of work with them last week at the JP event, and that will then run into this week, a part of the Open Championship preparations that, you know, getting that in the bags. And I would anticipate, we will see these rocking up at St Andrews this week.
Definitely, yeah. Well, let's hit a few strikes and see how we can get on with them.
Absolutely. Strike. Looks has to come into it as well, you know, regardless of playing ability as well. You know, it might be that a lower handicap player puts the UDI version down because it's that slightly sleeker.
Looks more like a players club.
Yeah, you know, a bit more of a players club. They've certainly got players, a players look to both of them in terms of the shaping. Yes, the DHY, you know, it's visible. It's a little thicker, but it's for a reason that it is going to be more forgiving. You'll get a slightly higher flight. Yeah. And the same way that somebody, you know, a lower single figure player might go, oh, I need the UDI, but then they put it down, and it's not got enough flight out of it. And they don't need that stinging shot because of the way they deliver it. They need something to be able to flight it a little bit more, and maybe that DHY is going to be the club for them. Yeah. Just through the natural process of trying, or even the look of it as well.
Yeah. Be interesting to do as well is I'll hit some shots with this. Yeah. And I'll hit some shots with something with the same degree and the same shaft in. Yeah. And then we can compare.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. you'll always have a cut-off as well in terms of the loft of the club, in terms of the flight and the carry. Now your club numbers, you're quite shallow, aren't you? Your club paths through from the inside, and probably your bad one is fair to say is probably low left, isn't it? Would that would be
Nailed it.
In that sense, I would say you probably struggle to consistently flight a longer iron.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, the long game's the worst part of my game by a mile. I struggle to get off the tee. Short game, fine.
Yeah.
Anything from like a 7 iron in, normally fine, consistent. But
so the loft is key to that, and the technology in the head. So to go really extreme, and I don't think we'll see that much, but I could give you a 2 in the UDI, let's say it's a 17, 18 degree, you know, that lower lofted option in there. And then you could have a 21 degree in the DHY, 22 degree, but you'll get more distance because it's got more loft.
Okay.
Just because of how you deliver the club. Right. Now to the next person that's not going to be the case. The stronger loft is the one that they're going to get the most distance, the most performance out of. And that's why these type of an iron or a hybrid or fairway woods are produced, because not everybody can hit a 2, a 3, a 4 iron. Yeah. And that's why we produce rescue clubs or lofted hybrids, because there's a cut-off for some golfers. Like, you know, make it relative to my dad. My dad couldn't hit a 2, 3 and a 4 iron because he hasn't got the speed to get the ball up in the air through the loft. So I'll give him a lofted hybrid, a 5 or a 4 hybrid to get the ball flighted. So, you know, gone are the days of somebody just buying a 3 iron through to sand wedge. You know, it's totally changed. You know, we've got fairway woods, we've got hybrids, we've got you know, the DHY and the UDIs. It's like a new category to fill the gap for everybody's bag. So, you know, if you wanted a driving iron off the tee, the natural instinct would be, right, I want to get a 2 iron. But it might be that you hit the 3 iron further and more consistent because of your delivery of the club, because you close it down. So if you take an 18 degree 2 iron and shut it down to dynamically at 13, 12 degrees, you're not going to get any carry because it's coming through closed and there's no dynamic loft on it. Yeah. So we need more loft to get the ball going.
Oh, perfect, yeah. So let's try that then. So should we try?
So what have you got there? You've got in your hand, you've got the 319 and the DHY, yeah? Okay. Good.
With that.
Good strike.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hit the back fence that. Wow.
That was good there. Flies to that 161. Right, 208 carry. Running out 231.
Running out 231.
The numbers have just made it into there.
Class. I would say you can't hit that any better than that.
Oh, can't you know?
Yeah. So that was flushed. So
cleared the fence again.
All right. A little bit more on the carry there. 211 running out to 231.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Well, if you make that relative to a links course, your home cup, you know, that's running out more than 231.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Even that was a bad one, but
that was the baller.
Yeah,
dippy one.
Dipped out the sky. I mean, the 2 that you hit just before that, I mean, that one's dropped a little bit there. 204 running to 225, but in terms of 208, 211, 212 on them first couple of carries, you know, the trackman will obviously calculate a bit of a run out. It's not going to take into account St Andrews in July when it's running firm and fast, obviously. So you always want to work on your carry base and then calculate from the rest. So I'm going to give you the 2 UDI, which is stronger in loft. It's 18 degree. Ball flight should be lower because of where the centre of gravity is placed in this. We should see that lower penetrating ball flight. It would really be interesting to see how that performs for you versus the DHY. All right. Good strike. Visibly lower, you can see a little lower.
Yeah.
All right, so that's carried 195, so quite a bit of a drop in distance. Good strike. Lower, that looked like it come off a little quicker. 204.
So even though I've got that 1 degree stronger, I'm still not gaining any distance, am I?
Exactly the same way if you come for a driver fitting, yeah, on paper the 8 degree is stronger, so obviously should come up with a bit more speed because it's stronger, but not everybody is suited to an 8 degree driver.
Yeah.
You might be fitted with a 9 or a 10.5 or maybe even a 12.
10.5, I'm fitted
yeah.
that, yeah.
So if you hit an 8 degree driver, you won't hit it as far as what you hit in 10.5 because it's not, you don't deliver it to match up with that 8 degree. So if you know, as somebody that maybe like yourself who's interested in that driving iron type model, going into a shop and going, right, I want the 2 iron, the low stinger one, it's not going to be for you. That's why we produce a different type of model in multiple lofts to squeeze as much out that's going to suit your game.
Yeah.
You don't need any problem flighting it low. That's how you deliver it.
Yeah, yeah.
So giving you something to flight at a little high and a bit more consistent is more suited for you. So now we go back into the DHY 19 degree, so a little bit more loft. Nice.
Yeah, see, straight
You
away.
can see the hang time it's got more on it. It's flying a little bit higher, which again is more suited for you.
Yeah.
So straight away there, right, you back up 213 carry, run out to 236. So at the moment, if I give you your averages between your two there, you know, you carry with this one 210, 208, 212, 205, 213. You run out to 228, 31, 32, 25, 236. With the UDI, it's just not working for you. It's just not going to be the club for you in that 2 degree, in that 2 iron, in that stronger loft. It's just not consistent for you.
Yeah.
That your carries there at 194, 204, 199. Now, if I give you a 3 iron in the UDI, all right, which is 20 degree.
Okay.
So
more degree, but the UDI rather than the
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So again, back to that lower, slightly more penetrating flight now.
It's low and a bit more hookier, isn't
Yeah.
it? Where I'm shutting it down.
Now,
is that to do with the technology, do you think? Having a bit more in the back of the club? Or?
Yeah, I certainly in the DHY, the centre of gravity will be a little bit lower to try and get the ball up a little easier. So if you were going to put a very brief overspin, this would be mid to low, where that one is low. Nice. If I look at your average peak height, let's see. So your peak height with the DHY, all right, was 71 feet. Where with that one that you're hitting now is 55 feet. So you can, we don't need the numbers to look at there. We can see that it's coming up flatter. Ball speed is similar throughout the board, 1 mile an hour at each, 135, 134.6, 134. So it's very similar, but you're also looking at the consistency of the flight as well as looking at the numbers. So just as a pure performance-based standpoint, if you wanted something to maximise distance off the tee, certainly the DHY would be the one is the starting point opposed to the UDI for you. But then as we go down that channel kind of finding the right one, you might say to me, I love that flight, if I can squeeze a little bit more distance out, it'd be perfect. So we can discount out the UDI in the 2 or 3. The DHY in the 3 was working well, but we haven't tried the DHY in the number 2. So that little bit more forgiving, but that stronger loft, that then potentially might maximise the 2 of your delivery of the club.
So this is the lowest loft I've had?
Lowest loft that you've had, but in the more
forgiving club.
More forgiving head, if you like. Yeah, for you. For me. I say more forgiving head loosely because it might be that you will see people who is more suited to the UDI and that plays more thing because it's more suited for them. But just in this individual fitting aspect, this head is going to be more suited for you.
Height on that one?
Yeah, a little bit open club face
that
there.
That was open, that,
Yeah. Alright, so you've flighted that better. I can't see that on there, but that's gone further.
It's the furthest one,
yeah. Class. you know, that's your game, probably in a nutshell.
Yeah.
When you get your furthest ball, whether that's relative to a driver or anything through the bag, when you dynamically start to get a little bit more loft on it with your delivery of the club, it's a much more consistent flight in terms of the ball speed that you get to, and more distance. So them last couple, the first and the third one there, you flight at the most distance, 218, 219 carry. Your run out's only being the same as the DHY because that had that flatter flight, a little bit more. But if I look at the amount of loft that you've got on them two, you've got more loft, 15 degrees of loft that you got on that shot, but it did come through a little bit open. So as it's coming through a little bit open, you're just delivering it with a little bit more. So that's not your proper shot.
No.
So it's finding that kind of balance between the two that I would expect. When you get it a little bit straighter, the flight will come down and you'll see a little bit more speed out of that. So give us one more with that. Again, it's just not as consistent for you.
And is this the
back to the 3 in the DHY, 19 degrees. Class.
That's different gravy, that.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's just ridiculous, like.
But you as a golfer, and you want to drive an iron, the natural thing is to go, I want a 2 iron, I want that stinger.
Yeah,
but that's not for you.
No.
That type of a club, lower lofted, centre of gravity being a bit higher to get that penetrating flight, is not for you, and that's why we produce different variations of that category of an iron.
Perfect. Yeah. So to conclude for me, based on everything that Dan's told me from an expertise perspective, and just looking at the shots in general, the DHY wins for me, based on how I deliver the club, based on looking at the ball flight, and distance wise, although it didn't go as far as the 17 degree, this 3 iron at 19 degrees was certainly more consistent. So this is the one I'll be putting in my bag.
Boom. So this is the 2 iron 18 degree UDI, as we said before, 90 S-Flex. So let's check some numbers on this, eh?
What have you currently got in the bag, Kev? A 5 wood?
I've got a 5 wood, yeah, with it, a 6.5 Project X. So the 5 wood's 19 degrees, isn't it?
Very good. You know, as the golfing family or golfing fans, and you know, and these type of reviews are a lot more accessible for all aspects of golfers now. We're a lot more in tune to technology and equipment and what different golf clubs do, and made the point before of, you know, gone are the days of just going into a pro shop and just getting a 3 iron to sandwich. You know, there's multiple different clubs in there, and seeing that a lot more now. You obviously see that every week on the tour. You know, when you see what's in people's bags in a practice round, there might be 16, 17 clubs in there, because they're dialing in that individual week of what they're going to see. The setup this week at the Open, realistically, is probably going to be different to what it's going to be last week at the John Deere Classic for some of the players. Because the apex for some of the flights that they won off the tee is going to be very different, and that's why, you know, you will see, you know, a lot more of that drive and iron type club in a multitude of players' bags. And again, you know, these are real intricacies of what the tour level players will be looking at. You know, and driver, dialing that in for a designated ball flight, 2 irons, wedges, they'll have lower bounces this week as well. You know, we'll see that there'll be a lot of grinding down on the truck this week for that tighter lie. You know, it is going to change week to week of what the setup is going to be relative to where they play.
It's just money then, isn't it, for the average golfer? Because obviously you've got to get your 60, 52, 46, and then get them in low bounce, high bounce.
I wouldn't say, certainly from what I say, I wouldn't say that is something that I see that, you know, the average golfer who plays most of their golf at one specific course, they're not going to have different bounces, I would say. But it might be that, I've got a trusty firewood that I keep in my garage. That you know, I see that kind of a lot now. But yeah, I mean, it'd be be great if you rock up on your monthly mail and you've got a tour truck doing some grinding down. But I think we're a little bit off that.
Just a bit, yeah. Maybe one day.
But do you know what? Like a great point that you made there was like, instead of investing in the newest driver that might get you 2 yards, invest in a different wedge that you can take to a different course, or a different drive 9, or a different 5 wood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you will always see in terms of the development in a driver. You know, it's for all the manufacturers. You know, there's so much R&D that goes into the development of the driver. You know, and all manufacturers are always working to get that, you know, the latest technology to unlock performance, and that performance could be distance, it could be forgiveness. It's a multitude of different aspects on that as well. You know, we've had a big shift change this year as well. And we've seen some big gains on that in individual fittings as well. So you'll always get a brand really trying to push the limit and push the boundaries what you get, and they'll always find a way, because that's, you know, they're like Formula 1 cars. Formula 1 car doesn't get slower, it only gets quicker and better and more agile, you know, more agile, more perfect performance each year, and they'll always drive. Creating a driver is no different. We'll always get better performance out of a new model and newer technologies that we bring as well.
What are the numbers on this chatting then, Dan?
So the first one you hit there, which is pure 222, running out to 242, ball speed 145. So you know it's quick. It's coming off quick there. Here's your stinger.
That is your stinger. Low as you like.
Lower that one there.
Good shot. I would say when you do a little test in this act with the DHY, I would say it's probably going to pop up a little bit too high for how you probably see your golf of what you want. Now, I know you play at a parkland course and maybe seeing that little bit more flight, but you probably want that option to play that lower stinger.
Well, that's me. I'm talking about, like, when I was speaking about not investing in a new driver, I was talking more from myself. Whereas if I had £500 now to go, I was right, I'm going to buy the Stealth. Although the stuff, as you say, the R&D and everything that's gone into the Stealth is obviously amazing, and it probably will bring me benefit, but I love my driver at the minute. So putting one of them in and putting another wedge that you can take to play SNA a lot, play West Lancashire a lot, having that versatility in the bag for the £500 probably benefits me
in
personally
of the bag,
than the driver. You know what I mean?
As I say, build, you know, to a golfer, build your own bag.
But 245 or whatever you said there, that's sound, isn't it?
For the driver line, yeah,
250 there.
250, like, you know what I mean? I used to dream of that when I was a kid with my driver.
I still dream of that now with my driver.
Alright, so this is the DHY in the 2 as well. So, you know, naturally we'll see higher ball flight. It's slightly stronger in the loft in this, and it has to be because of the technology being, the centre of gravity being a bit lower, so it's kind of to match that up.
I see, yeah. So it's a 17.
Let's have a look, Kev.
It's a 17 degree.
It's a DHY.
A little bit smoother this one, I reckon. It feels actually, I know it looks clunkier, but I don't know why, it feels like slimmer.
Right.
And like harder, I don't know, it feels like weirder to hit for me, this.
Good strike. But again, that's why it's, you know, it comes down to very much a personal preference as well of what you like, and, you know, the performance obviously comes into it as well. But it's got to look right for the golfer as well.
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. What are the numbers on that?
So that one there, you know, you squeezed a little bit more out of that one. Your carry was versus your best run out on the UDI. You squeeze an extra yard out of that one and an extra 2 on the run out. But in terms of your averages, the other one is much more consistent. So your average look a lot better.
And again, does that when you talk to me about delivery of the club, does that just go on him delivering the club and striking it better than I do?
Yeah, you've certainly got a difference in on delivery of club. Kev's path is very different to yours. Yours is very much from the inside. You've got a tendency to close the club face up. Kev isn't like that. You know, his club path is more to the left. hits down on the golf ball a lot, so he's got no problem. You know, you're a divot taker. I'd say if you're playing well, your ball striking is pretty good on the golf course.
That's what I always work with Dave. Like, I used to just pick it off the grass and think it was a clean strike.
Yeah.
But then he was like, look on tour, everyone that's hitting divot. So now when I'm playing my best, I do judge me performance versus me divot.
Yeah.
So I know, obviously if you're fat in it, it's a bit different, isn't
Yeah.
it? But like even just taking a nice divot off the tee, even with like a longer iron, it's when I feel I'm swinging it the best. But just this shot, have you got anything a bit stiffer?
We do, yeah, we can. We have the ability to order anything you want in it now. We have this kind of any shaft, any head combination now, so we can get. What have you got in your irons? You got C tapers.
I've got the C tapers, 130s. Yeah.
So we could get a C taper 130 in there as well. We can get different graphite in there. We do something called an RDX black, so it'll play really strong graphite like what you've got in your fairway woods, and we can get that into a UDI DHY, which is in. We got a UDI here in the 790. Alright. That one there, the hazardous smoke, so we can get that shaft into something like there, a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger as well. Because you've got X's in all your clubs, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 6.5s in the woods.
Yeah. So we'd have to strengthen it up to get it a little bit more suited for you, suited for you.
Yeah. But in terms of like picking between me 5 wood and me 3 wood shaft, which is like this, to put in the iron, or put what's in me irons in me hybrid, we just go on feel, do we, or numbers?
Yeah, both. Feel does would certainly come into it as well. I mean, we've got the 6.5 there. Yeah, so you can see on the 6.5 in the graphite, it's 100 grams.
Yeah.
So it's still not as heavy as what you're going to get in your C tapers. They're going to play at 130.
Yeah.
Now, it might be that you don't want the steel shaft in the irons. Certainly on tour level, we're seeing some steel shafts in there. Tiger was testing one with a X100 in.
I'll give you a steel shaft now.
Yeah. Again, this is a different profile, but still, finishes off that category as well to sit alongside in the UDIs with the Stealth and the DHYs. This is the P790 UDI, right. 17 degrees, and a number 2, a bit more sleeker again when you look it down, a little bit thinner. This is what Rory has historically had in play. I'm not sure if he's going to put the Stealth in this week or keep with his 790 UDI. So we've certainly got a drive and iron for every golfer in the range there.
Yeah, I don't know, because when you hit a wood, it feels lighter. They feel quite light, so the strike feels quite nice. Yeah. Whereas I feel this is quite heavy, so I feel like this could come off very, very low. It's a stronger, heavier graphite shaft, so the down should keep it a little lower for you. See, that's strong, but the UDI in the number 2 was just that bit more consistent. So if you make that relevant, that sounds slappy, doesn't it?
Strike, it's like strike it rocky, isn't it? Top, middle or bottom, where the DHY is just flighting a little bit high for you. The 790 UDI isn't flighting enough for you. Yeah. Where the Stealth UDI is hitting that one in the middle, that little bit more consistency. That was there, that felt the nicest. Felt the nicest and looked the nicest as well. There you go. Well, in terms of like the club itself, forget my numbers, it does look beautiful looking down on it, doesn't it? Yeah, like when the actual profile of it. Suit your eye, yeah. That little extra, because it's not exactly. I know it's sleek, but it's not like P790 sleek, is it? So you want an element of forgiveness because it's so strong lofted on there. If you don't get it and it's too sleek, you're obviously going to just dip it out the sky. Yeah. So you want certainly a little bit of an iron which is going to be inviting to hit it off the tee. Straight away. Like even the noise and the flight and everything. You haven't missed a shot with that one. That's unbelievable, that one. That's actually the back fence.
No, it isn't.
Consistently there, 230, run 252, 227, 256. So you're going to get that stinger type shot where you're going to get a load of run on it because of the dynamics of what that club is. But it's still like flighting and rolling, isn't it? Yeah, that's a proper flight, yeah. Nice. Very good.
That was just down the pipe, that one, eh?
So what is it with the DHY? Just...
I don't know, it added the head. But the head's different weights in the DHI and the UDI.
You know, just a different construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously you've got that more of a rounded feature when you look down it, again to help the ball get up in the air, but for you and how you deliver it, it's not the right shot for you.
Yeah.
But for Mark it was.
Now, all in all, like this Stealth UDI is unbelievable, like.
Nice.
Yeah, I've missed it that one a little bit.
Still got that straight flight though, hasn't it?
That was a bit heely, that one, but it's just straight, isn't
That's
it?
where the forgiveness
What's
comes
the
in
number
then.
on that? That was a miss it.
So that one, that dropped a little bit. You didn't fully get that one, did you?
No.
209, run out to 236. Ball speed was 141, where you were getting 147s, 146s. So you can see that you didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
Still flight,
Still,
all right.
flight was nice,
yeah,
but even
yeah.
like obviously you miss it there. The numbers have dropped massively, and the result,
yeah,
it's 20 yards.
it's in play.
It's another club or something
Yeah.
down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Into the green.
Send it over slightly.
Send it over slightly.
Even listening to the strike as well, it's more consistent. It's
Yeah,
a
like the
proper strike that
slappy
you
ones
get,
still
yeah.
sound alright, don't they? But even with the more forgiving one, the slappy one didn't sound as good for me.
Nice.
Nice.
Strictly ball speed's back up now, consistently 147 ball speed there. It's good.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it?
Very good. So you can see, you know, you can see both of you kind of the journey you go on finding the right one, the right loft, the right head. You know, the other one, the shaft felt a little bit light for us. So we've gone back to where we started, a little bit heavier, and everything just starts to match up now as well. So you kind of find your own, your path to find the right club. Yeah.
It's really interesting though. Obviously, we're reviewing both clubs. And like one's perfect for me and the other one's perfect for you.
It seems like everything we do, we're like opposites, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I know we're here to obviously review the clubs, but it's sort of showing to like the review, the benefit of actually coming to get fitted instead of just going, oh, it looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the rack, yeah.
Because
like you said before, though, gone are the days of having a 3 irons a sandwich. Gone are the days where you can just pick things up off the shelf now. Even if you go to a normal retail store, they've got nets and numbers that they'll fit you with. You know, it's
class.
That's pitched on the back fence, that one.
That was unbelievable, that way. That's the furthest one, that.
Yeah, 148 ball, 235 running to 258.
Do you know what I mean?
260 off the screws.
260 out the Stealth 2 iron, driving iron there. How much are these? Talk to me. That was a nice one, that though.
You know, your numbers, in terms of your numbers in distance, ball speed, you know, similar between that and the DHY.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you know, when we look at the intricacies of it, you know, the height, you're getting a lower flight with this, lower launch, lower peak height to get that kind of stinger 2 iron shot.
Yeah. You're not putting it in for height, are you? Like, in my
Not for you, no, you're not, no. You know, that you're maximising distance, you know, to get it in play off the tee.
That's
what it is the driving iron. Lovely.
That's the one, isn't it? Like,
it's good.
That is the one.
Okay, so that's a wrap on the Stealth DHY and Stealth UDI. As you can see from the video, it's all about getting fitted, I think, isn't it? And making sure that you've got the right one for you. Obviously, at the beginning.
I don't even know where mine's gone.
Yeah. So yeah, I think obviously, like at the beginning, we did say I would be more leaning towards the DHY and Kev the UDI based on delivery of golf club.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's worked out, but it's not always as simple as that. I would never have gone for the 20 degree, I'd have went for the 17 degree probably to try and get that more distance, but it's obvious for me that the higher degree worked. It was more consistent.
It's just what you do, isn't it? Like Dan was saying, you go in, you think 2-iron, you think low loft, and you grab it.
You're just used to wanting to hit it like Tiger, aren't you? That low stinger that never
part of him lives in me.
So when are these out, Dan?
So they'll come out this week to coincide with the launch of Open Championship week. So we see some of these in the bags, and get them in some of the guys who are watching your review this week, and get them in play as well.
Yeah, so keep a lookout for the launch. Obviously very impressive. I'm going for the DHY, Kev's going for the UDI, and hopefully it'll knock a few shots off our game.
Hopefully.
Does it? Ciao.
Ciao.
Good night.